Hi, it's Kirk from Weber Chiropractic. Hey, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch our videos and especially for taking time to share them with your family and friends. By doing so, you're really helping us bring a better way to better health to the entire community. So far, we've been talking this month about stress. And our first video, an animated short, told us a little bit about how stress affects the body. The second video was something more on what you would see if you came to the chiropractor's office as a result of that stress. And today we're going to talk about how to mitigate or alleviate some of that stress from your body. And I'm going to show you one way that if you use this method, we can actually help cut stress by 50, 60, maybe even 80%. And think about how dramatic of an effect that would have on your life. We need to review and remember that stress is how the body adapts. It's how we learn to change. If it's too hot, we take a coat off. If it's too cold, we put a coat on. The second thing that we need to remember about stress is there's two types. There's the happenstance stress, which is when something just happens to you out of the blue that you had no control over. A car runs through an intersection and T-bones you. That's a happenstance stress. And the stress occurs after the event. Then there is self-inflicted stress. And this is when we don't get enough sleep, we don't get enough rest, we have a poor diet, we don't get enough water. And that's where the stress literally starts before it gets to you and leads to the effects. So on the self-inflicted stress, we have control. On the happenstance stress, the control happens after the event. So how we're going to deal with this is we are going to come awake. We're going to become self-aware. We're going to be present in our moment right now. And I know you already know this and you're thinking, Kirk, this is common sense. But yes, common sense is not always common practice. So after a happenstance event, you are going to start to control how you react to that event. Is it really worth getting all upset and worrying about this or worrying about that? If you can control that, you can mitigate that stress. On the self-inflicted side, if you control your diet, if you control what your sleeping habits are, you can control that stress. So you need to be aware and you need to think about these things either before or after the event. And the way you do that is you set up triggers, reminders. So my suggestion is every time you walk through a door, think about where you're going and what you're doing. When you're driving, every time you see a red light or a stoplight, think about where you're going and what you're doing. And that, my friends, is how we're going to mitigate that stress. Please, if you found this information useful, beneficial, share it with your family and friends. Be sure and like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and remember, chiropractic is the better way to better health.